Yes, 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 yes. Good evening, all my South Orange Mayport listeners, and all those other listeners in the towns of Milburn, Livingston, Irvington, West Orange, East Orange, Orange, and Newark. Welcome to In the Village With Anselm on the South Orange Mayport Online Radio Experience, and live on the World Wide Web at somore.org. And the only radio show covering all your news, opinions, politics, talk, and sports happening in the South Orange Mayport communities. You can listen to us every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. And reach us at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. You can also reach us at facebook.com/Somore Radio. That's facebook.com/Somore Radio. We have an interesting program lined up for you this evening, and I look forward to your participation in the discussion. Now, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, just before we continue, let me just give you...
Coming soon, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience.
Well, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, every night we come to you in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We give you the news from the different online websites covering South Orange and Maplewood. You know, we give you the newest addition to covering information in South Orange and Maplewood. Village Green, New Jersey, we give you from The Patch. We give you from maplewoodian.com. We give you all sort of information regarding what's going on in the communities of South Orange and Maplewood. But every once in a while, I believe we can preempt our show to talk about certain things we see happening in of South Orange and Maplewood. And that made me think about the program tonight because of an article in the alternative press. And the article is titled, State Assembly Puts Common Core on Hold. Now, if you go to the South Orange, our website, which is somore.org, you're going to see we have a Somore poll. It's been out there for months. Yes, it's been out there for months. And I know many people will be saying, well, why do these people from Somore have this poll out there for such a long time? And the poll is, should the South Orange Maplewood School District implement the Common Core? Yes, no, not sure, don't care. There's approximately 277 people voted. Yes, they voted. And let's see what basically is the result from the vote. 218 people said no. 28 voters said yes. 20 said not sure. And 11 said, I don't care. Now let's get back to the article in the alternative press. State Assembly puts Common Core on hold. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the Common Core. Yes, it's one of my favorite subjects because I believe the Common Core is doing a great injustice to many children across the United States of America, and an even greater injustice here in our communities of South Orange and Maplewood. Here's the article. The article states, last week, Assembly Bill A 3081, which allows for the formation of the Education Reform Review Task Force, passed in the State Assembly with a vote of 72 in favor, 4 against, and 2 abstention. The bill, which was sponsored by Assemblywoman Myla J.C., Democratic for Essex County. Many of you may know, Myla J.C. is a resident of South Orange, and she's been a long-time Assemblywoman. She sat on the Board of Education in the past in South Orange and Maplewood. So here we have an Assemblywoman from our community putting this bill in Trenton. Okay, as we go on, the bill, which was sponsored by Assemblywoman Myla Jacey, delays the implementation of Common Core standards, instead opting to first study the effects it may have on children, teachers, and administrators in schools across the state. With regard to the task force, its purpose is to study the effects of Common Core standards, as well as the teacher evaluation system and the use of assessment developed by the Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers. The task force will be chaired by 15 individuals, including the Commissioner of Education and a candidate from the statewide Parent Advocacy Network. 8 of the chairs will be appointed by Governor Christie. However, they will be from a wide range of groups, such as American Federation of Teachers of New Jersey and the New Jersey Council of Vocational Technical School. Many may see this as a victory, as Common Core has been criticized in the past, with Peggy McGlone of the Star-Ledger having penned an article last year stating that Common Core suffered from a lack of input from teachers in creating the standards and their accompanying tests, and such has faced fierce opposition from the teachers' union, the NGEA. Common Core is a nationwide state-run educational program focused on math, English, history, and art, detailing what student competency level should be at the end of each grade from kindergarten to the 12th grade in order to best prepare students for college and the workforce. The program seeks to establish general standards for education across state lines, which with each state being responsible for developing and adhering to its own standards. However, many have viewed Common Core as deeply problematic due to across-the-board changes being made. Recently, Washington Township Board of Education President Ginny Murphy stated that the implementation of the Common Core forces a district to not only change how they operate and evaluate school and staff, it also forces them to spend a lot of money that's not provided by the legislators who make the law. Assemblywoman Jacey proposed Bill A 3081 as a way to slow down the implementation of the Common Core standards. Rather than rush into implementing these new standards, the study of both Common Core and PRCC will allow legislators, school boards, and the public to get a better understanding of these standards and how the implementation will affect students. The State Senate Education Committee is scheduled to discuss the bill in the near future. Now, I've said over and over and over, the Common Core, implementation of the Common Core is going to have a drastic effect on the kids in our schools that need the most help. The kids here in South Orange and Maple that needs the most help are going to be the kids that the Common Core is going to have a negative effect on. It's going to have a drastic effect on these kids. Now, there was a gentleman by the name of Dr. Gary Thompson. He had spoke in Wisconsin before the board there in Wisconsin. Now, let's listen to a few minutes of Dr. Gary Thompson talking about the Common Core.
Hi, my name is Dr. Gary Thompson. I'm a Director of Clinical Training and Community Advocacy Services at Early Life Child Psychology and Education Center in South Jordan, Utah. And I want to thank the senators and representatives for this opportunity to speak to you about a subject that is near and dear to my heart. I hope you don't mind that on occasion that I glance at notes. I'm a 50-year-old with a 3-year-old daughter, and I haven't slept in 3 years. Today I'm going to talk about the testing aspects surrounding Common Core. Specifically, are the tests valid? How would these tests affect vulnerable populations of children? And the proposed accommodations set forth by your testing consortium, are they good? And finally, I want to answer the question, are our kids being used as experimental guinea pigs? I'm going to start from the end and give you my conclusions, and then I'm going to fill in the blanks. Are the tests valid? Absolutely not. How will they affect vulnerable populations, specifically African American kids, Latino kids, depressed kids, anxious kids, children who are suffering from ADHD, gifted children, and so on and so forth? The outlook is not pretty.
Education is quickly changing in the United States. It's hard for parents to keep up with what their children are learning in school, and it's even harder to understand the national trends in education and where they're taking our children and our country. I hope that today is the day that we will resolve to take ownership over the education of our children. So let's start by trying to understand what's happening in our public schools. Hello, my name is Jane Robbins, and I'm with the American Principles Project. I have a disturbing story to tell, a story about the Common Core state standards, how they were foisted on the states by the federal government and by well-funded private interests in Washington. We need to realize that the Common Core will strip our states of their constitutional authority over education. Parents will no longer be able to control or even influence what their children are taught. The Common Core scheme will ultimately empower the federal government to control school curricula in violation of 3 federal statutes. Parents need to know how Common Core standards will ultimately narrow the curriculum and prepare our children to be cogs in a national industrial system rather than full citizens in a free republic. Taxpayers need to know how the Common Core leads to national testing that will impose substantial costs on state and local school budgets. Parents need to know how the massive student data tracking system will contribute to the loss of student and family privacy. Citizens need to understand how this new educational direction will gradually guide the next generation away from our free enterprise system and into a managed economy. All this is supposedly the price we have to pay to ensure that our children are better prepared to compete in the global economy. Join me as I explain what is a very real threat to the United States education system.
Jane, I don't know too much about the Common Core. Could you just start by defining what we are talking about exactly?
The Common Core State Standards Initiative is currently a set of national common K-12 content standards in English language arts and math, ideally to be adopted in all 50 states so that education will be standardized throughout the country. The supposed purpose of the Common Core is to impose rigorous standards so that our students will be better prepared for competing in the global economy and to allow comparison of student performance among states. Common Core standards have currently been adopted by 45 states and the District of Columbia.
So what's the problem with nationally standardized content standards? I heard that the states work together to create these standards.
Common Core proponents claim that Common Core was led by the states, but this simply isn't true. The real drivers of the Common Core were the same advocates of a national school curriculum who have been around for years in various guises. They tried and failed to impose a national curriculum in the past. For example, with the national history standards in the 1990s, which were so politically correct and anti-American that they were rejected by the U.S. Senate 99-1. The national curriculum advocates learned 3 things from past failures. First, don't call the curriculum standards national or federal. Second, impose them quickly and quietly before the people and their representatives find out about it. And 3, don't start with a controversial subject such as history. Start instead with math and English.
Can you identify a few of these groups of people and why they seem so motivated to take over the curriculum standards in all 50 states?
This most recent effort of progressive education reformers is primarily connected with a nonprofit group in Washington, D.C. called Achieve, Inc., which wrote the national standards. with lavish funding from private foundations, especially the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They realized the need to make this look like a state-generated initiative, so they went to the National Governors Association and the Council of Chief State School Officers, both of which are D.C.-based trade associations, and neither of which had a grant of legislative authority from states to write national school standards. But because the Common Core standards were created under their auspices, the proponents now claim that the effort was state-led. The real power here is the Gates Foundation, which has spent over $100 million helping create and propagate the standards, and has plans to spend many millions more. But over the long haul, with all the technology and new curriculum that this new educational paradigm requires, companies such as Microsoft will more than recover the money they have invested. There is a great deal of money to be made at the educational trough.
I'm trying to understand how these private groups could have so much influence over 50 states. Is the federal government involved in this?
Secretary of Education Arne Duncan is a huge proponent of Common Core, and under his direction, the Federal Department of Education has used its power of the purse to essentially bribe states to adopt the standards. In the spring of 2009, the infamous stimulus bill gave the Department of Education a $4.35 billion earmark, money to use however the department wanted. The department created the Race to the Top competition, whereby the federal government took our money and gave us the chance to compete to get some of it back. States could apply for Race to the Top grants, but to have a realistic shot at getting the money, they had to agree to adopt the Common Core standards and the national tests, the assessments aligned with the Common Core, all sight unseen, because at that time the standards had not even been completed, and the testing component is still not complete. The Race to the Top application came out in November 2009, and completed applications were due only 2 months later. Now remember, at that time the country was in a deep recession, and states were desperate for money. It's also important to note that between the months of November and early January, most state legislatures are not in session. So desperate state officials had to decide without consulting their legislatures whether to commit to the Common Core and all it entails in order to get Race to the Top money. In Georgia, the decision to apply for Race to the Top money was made by Governor Sonny Perdue and State School Superintendent Kathy Cox. Yet Kathy Cox, of all people, should know that content standards that cannot be changed by the states cannot work in the long run. In 2004, then Superintendent Cox canceled plans to use reading and writing standards developed for K-3 grades by the National Center on Education and the Economy. Why? Because that organization would not agree to let the state change its standards in any way. Cox stated that the state of Georgia, quote, had some real trouble going forward with a document we weren't going to be able to change, close quote. The State Board threw out a $125,000 contract and brought together a group of Georgia teachers to come up with new standards. And here we go again, getting into the same mess, yet deeper this time around. The Common Core standards were finally released in June 2010, and states were given 2 summer vacation months to get their state school boards to sign off on the Common Core commitment, again with no involvement by the legislature. In Georgia, the state school board signed off on the Common Core in just 1 month. The other way the federal government is promoting Common Core is through No Child Left Behind waivers. The U.S. Department of Education is encouraging states to adopt Common Core in order to qualify for a waiver from the most demanding provisions of No Child Left Behind. Georgia received both Race to the Top funding and a No Child Left Behind waiver, so it is firmly shackled to the Common Core and the aligned national tests unless the legislature does something to change it.
It's obvious that these federal grants usurp legislative authority and make state control irrelevant. What about the national testing? What are the concerns associated with the testing aspect of the Common Core?
2 consortia of states have hired so-called testing experts to create national tests aligned with the Common Core. One is called the Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium, and the other is the Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers, better known as PARCC, P-A-R-C-C. These will all be computerized tests, So school districts will have to acquire and maintain the technology necessary for testing all students in most grades multiple times per year. Georgia is a member of PARC, which means we've agreed to implement the PARC National Test by the school year 2014-15.
Who's paying to develop these tests?
The U.S. Department of Education gave the two consortia $360 million for test creation. Now, once that money runs out, the states that are members of the consortia will have to assume the costs. These types of computer-driven tests are far more expensive than traditional testing, and there has not been a candid discussion on the ongoing costs this creates for taxpayers. Something to consider about the people developing these PARC and Smarter Balance tests. The PARC tests are being designed by the same group of progressive reformers that gave us the Common Core standards. With respect to Smarter Balanced, the most influential person there is a radical Stanford professor named Linda Darling Hammond, who has partnered with Bill Ayers, yes, that Bill Ayers, in the past on some of his education projects, and who is basically opposed to testing students at all. Under her direction, the Smarter Balance test will probably lower the bar on student academic expectations and instead focus on subjective performance-based outcomes. So we ought to question whether these tests are even going to test the type of academic knowledge that students ought to have.
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? Then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8-times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
Want to take a cruise but don't have a U.S. visa? No problem. Cruise and Rail Travel are experts at cruises that do not require a U.S. visa. Visit www.cruiseandrail.net or call 868-631-8785. Find us on Facebook or drop us a tweet.
Want to learn piano for kids? Then I recommend Wendy Goldstein School of Piano. Wendy Goldstein has been offering piano lessons since 1993 and teaches piano in a very natural way. An alumni of Manhattan School of Music, Wendy creates customized lesson plans for each student and helps bring music alive. Wendy provides you a convenient location, the best value, and the most fun way to learn piano. All ages are welcome and the first lesson is always free. Have questions? Call Wendy at 201-207-5169.
This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear from you at 973-327-3626 or log on to showmore.org to let us know your opinion. Go ahead and advertise on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. You can reach us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to assist you. Coming soon, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience.
I feel so blessed, y'all. This track is incredible. S1, You can feel it. I'm a blessed man. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. right now, I'm a blessed man. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. No question, I'm a blessed man. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. You can feel it, you can feel it. So much joy. It's like a dream come true, like a sneak preview of the grand finale. I get a taste of heaven, it's like milk and honey. I was blessed with love before I had money. The things I love most, you can't take from me. I hold them close, the most high in my family. I might never get fortune and fame, I'm always gonna say I've been a fortunate man. And when they ask who I am, I will stand up and say I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask where I'm at, it don't matter, I'm with you, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask why, I will point to the sky, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yes, man, I'm a blessed man. We walk through the park holding hands, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm a blessed man. You're so beautiful, the words escape me, like the day I watched you give birth to our baby. You illuminate when I'm in a dark place. Bless my heart with a smile on your face. I'ma say it, my wife is hot, so it don't matter how much ice I got. I put a ring on her finger, leave it at that. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I'm at. If it wasn't for God, maybe we never would have met. But he brought us together, so there's no question we're blessed. I don't write many love songs, I'm sorry girl. The truth is I never hear beats worthy of it. But when the glove fits, I let the world know I'm married to an angel and plan to stay faithful. And when they ask who I am, I will stand up and say I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask where I'm at, it don't matter, I'm with you, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask why, I will point to the sky, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yes, man, I'm a blessed man. As I sit back reflecting, it's obvious that my life's been protected. I had friends get murdered, I could have been there. Friends committed suicide, I could have went there. Depression, my life could have ended. I could have took a flight on September 11. Life is fragile, we take it for granted. I'm thankful for the life I was handed. Christ stretched out his arms on the cross, offered me freedom at a tremendous cost. I can't accept the gift without repentance. I talk to God with expectancy. He said, ask for anything in the name of my son. If it's my will, then it will be done. I'm not praying for material possessions. Being close to God is the greatest blessing. And when they ask who I am, I will stand up and say I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask where I'm at, it don't matter, I'm with you, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask why, I will point to the sky, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yes, man, I'm a blessed man. And when they ask who I am, I will stand up and say I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask where I'm at, it don't matter, I'm with you, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask why, I will point to the sky, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yes, man, I'm a blessed man. I don't got rims on the car, you know. I don't got a lot of jewelry, you know, but I'm blessed with life. I'm blessed knowing God. I'm blessed with family. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man.
You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. For more, go to SoMore.org to participate in the discussion.
We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327. You can reach us here at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/SoMore Radio. That's facebook.com/SoMore Radio. You can tweet us at SoMore Radio. That's at SoMore Radio. You can also listen to us on tunein.com. That's TUNEIN.com. When you go to tunein.com, you just put in SoMore, SOMORE, and you'll see our icon comes up, and you can save it to listen to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can listen to our podcast at all times. And we're going to continue to do more and more and more here in the Village of Anselm and the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. And don't forget, coming up on July the 4th, the 7th annual Maplewood 4th of July 5K race run through Maplewood. This race supports Columbia High School cross country and track team. Registration starts at 7 a.m. and race time is at 8 a.m. The race starts at Donald Road and Oak View Avenue in Maplewood. The entry fee is $25 before June the 30th and $30 after June 30. The awards are 3 men overall, 3 women overall, and top 3 Maplewood residents. For further questions, you can send your emails to maplewood5k4j@aol.com. That's maplewood5k4j@aol.com. And of course, you definitely want to support the 7th annual Maplewood 4th of July 5K race that support Columbia High School cross country and track teams. As you know, Columbia High School cross country and track teams are a national power, not a New Jersey power, ladies and gentlemen, but a national power. Now, tonight we are discussing the Common Core. And Catholic scholars blast the Common Core. Can you imagine? Catholic scholars. Yes, you heard that right. The Catholic scholars blast the Common Core. And this was an article in the South Orange Patch. In an unusual statement, 132 Catholic scholars wrote a statement highly critical of the Common Core, which they sent to every bishop in the nation. They urged the bishops not to adopt the Common Core in Catholic schools and to withdraw it where it has been adopted. They conclude that the Common Core standards are designed as standardized workforce training and doing nothing to shape and inspire hearts and minds of children. Let me repeat that. They conclude that the Common Core standards are designed as standardized workforce training, doing nothing to shape and inspire the hearts and minds of children. Now, many of us know that the Catholic schools are an example for all our public schools to follow. If you had to say in high school, middle school, elementary school, which of the schools you think the public schools should follow, I will submit to you that 90% or more of the people will tell you it's the Catholic schools. The Catholic school got uniforms, right? They have smaller class sizes. They expect high achievement from everyone. And some of the Catholic schools go as far as to not have honors classes, in that they want all the kids to achieve at a high standard. Now let's just think about this. This summer, the South Orange Maplewood School District hand out its reading list. They hand out a reading list for kindergarten through the 5th grade, and as well as for honor students. What about the other students? What kind of message are you sending to the kids and to the parents that we only want the kids from kindergarten through 5th grade, or the kids that are in honors classes? And I keep saying this over and over and over. The students that are in honors classes and AP classes, they are going to succeed regardless of whatever happens. These kids are high achieving kids, and they are going to do what's necessary in order for them to achieve at a high standard. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Now let's just listen to this.
That one day, this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these
Segregated schools were and are inferior schools. We still haven't fixed them 50 years after Brown versus Board of Education. And the inferior education they provided, then and now, helps explain the pervasive achievement gap between today's black and white students.
I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream for this.
When we take those tests, even when black and Latino students score at the top of the distribution, so even when black and Latino students do very well using the biased and absurd indicators that we use in this country, they're still 40% less likely to be put into an advanced placement class or an honors class in high school than white students who scored in the middle of the distribution. So you have average white students, according to this criteria, and of course the criteria is bogus, but understand it's the one we use. Using this criteria, white students who are merely average are still more likely to have advanced or accelerated classes once they get to high school. Now what does that mean? It means that those students are going to get more prepared for the SAT, right? They're going to get more prepared for the ACT, they're going to take the test, and they're going to do better. And we're going to act shocked when people of color do worse on a test that they were systemically excluded from preparing for, as if that is a surprise. I mean, black and Latino students of whatever socioeconomic status, 2.5 times more likely than whites to be put into remedial classes, where they're not going to receive the same instruction, they're not going to have the same coursework, they're not going to be challenged in the same way, right? And so we then act surprised when in 11th grade they take the SAT, the ACT, they don't do as well, and then our society says, well, now you're not capable of going on to college, or at least not that college, because you're not as smart as somebody else over here. The fact that the structure of the educational system guaranteed that you would not do as well, virtually assured it, is something we don't want to talk about. But that's the systemic issue.
Coming soon, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience.
We are back with you. Now, just the 21st, from Oklahoma to Louisiana, why states are dropping the Common Core? Fox News, our good old Fox News, ladies and gentlemen. From Oklahoma to Louisiana, why states are dropping the Common Core? When Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin signed a bill repealing Common Core national standards from a state school, it was perhaps the most ironic moment in the fight over the initiative. Fallin is chairwoman of the National Governors Association, one of the private groups that hold the copyright of Common Core. Yes, this marks the first time in the history a private group has owned school standards. Are you all listening? Is South Orange and Maplewood listening? This marks the first time in the history a private group has owned school standards. While Fallin wasn't governor at the time the standards were created and adopted, she nonetheless rejected her own organization's initiative. Can you imagine that, ladies and gentlemen? You create an initiative, and then you decide to reject your own initiative. You know what that's like? It's like you're trying to pitch and try to go hit the ball at the same time. They drafted it, and then they rejected it. In the same week, South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley signed a bill to repeal Common Core and required the states to design its own standards for the 2015-2016 school year. Indiana has repealed Common Core too, though the replacement standards are largely seen as a disappointment because they virtually mirror the national standards. Legislation is also making its way through the North Carolina legislature that will repeal Common Core there as well. We want high standards. If there are pieces or components of the Common Core that you think are age appropriate, they can take these individual pieces. But as a whole, we want more rigorous standards, bill sponsor Rep. Brian Holloway said. In Oklahoma, after signing the bill, Forlin said, Common Core was created with that well-intentioned goal in mind. It was originally signed as a state-led, not federal initiative that each state could choose to voluntarily adopt. Unfortunately, federal overreach has tainted Common Core. President Obama and Washington bureaucrats have usurped Common Core in an attempt to influence state educational standards. The results are predictable. What should have been a bipartisan policy is now widely regarded as the president's plan to establish federal control of curricula, testing, and teacher strategy. Forlin's 180-degree turn on Common Core was 4 years in the making and was the result of valiant, persistent effort from parents like Jenny White. The parents started with one legislator who wrote a bill for us to simply repeal Common Core from law. White, the leader of Restore Oklahoma Public Education, tells me. It wasn't heard by the committee chairman in either Senate or the House in 2011, 2012, or 2013. We had a bill for a task force to simply study the course of the standards that made it through the Rules Committee, but was not brought to the House floor for a vote. With that in mind, we have to take into consideration that Donna Smith just put out a press release that we read here in the Village With Anselm and the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. And she's running for Board of Education. The election will be held in November. And, of course, I'm going to try to get Donna Smith in here and ask her, where does she stand on the Common Core? And Donna, if you're listening, give us a call. Let us know where you stand on the Common Core. Because we believe the Common Core is very important in the South Orange Maplewood School District education system. And in the last election, there were a few individuals, or maybe one, I should say, who took any stand on the Common Core, and that was Joanna Wright. She was the only one that took a stand on the Common Core. So, you hear Dr. Gary Thompson talks about the Common Core, and you know, there was a saying, listen carefully, and they were talking to many people who were running for different Board of Education elections across the country. And they simply said, if you for the core, you out the door. It's that simple. If you for the core, you out the door. Now, here is Joanna's right position on the Common Core. And she's now a member of the Board of Education. And I'm reading directly from back when Joanna Wright ran for the Board of Education. I don't want you to be the parent who have to look at your child and say to them, because they're in this school district, they must be prepared to accept lower standards for a while. I did not have to tell that to my daughter when she was going to school in this district. I didn't tell this to the children I taught in this school district. And I certainly don't expect a board member to face us as a community and tell us to be prepared to accept lower standards. If they are indeed teachers, why all three of my opponents telling the community to follow a path that has problems? Shouldn't we, with evidence now coming from other school districts and state, some have implemented a Common Core, rethink if this is the right solution for our district? We don't need another No Child Left Behind. And that is why I'm speaking out. And that was the position of Joanna Wright on the Common Core. So we're going to ask a question, ladies and gentlemen. We have to ask these questions because these questions are so important to all the kids of the South Orange Maplewood School District. Remember what we said. Remember, I told you over and over, and I'm going to keep saying it, ladies and gentlemen, in the words of Martin Luther King, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Another quote is, never, never be afraid to do what's right, especially if the well-being of a person or animals is at stake. Society's punishment are small compared to the wounds we inflict on our soul when we look the other way. And we are not going to look the other way in the Village with Anselm and the South Orange Maplewood online radio experience. We're going to bring it to you. Some people are going to be happy. Some people are going to be unhappy. But if it's to benefit the kids of the South Orange Maplewood School District, that is what we are going to do. Time check. The time is approximately 8:45 p.m. That time check was brought to you by Semper Alexander Computer Consultants, where they implement cost-effective solutions to fulfill your business need. Semper Alexander for all your computer needs. More Common Core when we return.
This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear from you at 973-327-3626 or log on to showmore.org to let us know your opinion.
Want to learn piano for kids? Then I recommend Wendy Goldstein School of Piano. Wendy Goldstein has been offering piano lessons since 1993 and teaches piano in a very natural way. An alumni of Manhattan School of Music, Wendy creates customized lesson plans for each student and helps bring music alive. Wendy provides you a convenient location, the best value, and the most fun way to learn piano. All ages are welcome and the first lesson is always free. Have questions? Call Wendy at 201-207-5169.
Want to take a cruise but don't have a U.S. visa? No problem. Cruise and Rail Travel are experts at cruises that do not require a U.S. visa. Visit www.cruiseandrail.net or call 868-631-8785. Find us on Facebook or drop us a tweet.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? Then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8 times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear your opinion. You can log on to showmore.org or give us a call at 973-327-3626. Go ahead and advertise on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. You can reach us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to assist you. This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear from you at 973-327-3626 or log on to showmore.org to let us know your opinion.
If I think of my life as a class and what I've really learned, I've learned a few things. First, I'm aware that I'm a child of God. It's such an amazing understanding to think that the it, which made fleas and mountains and rivers and stars, made me. What I pray for is humility, to know that there is something greater than I. Then I have to know that the brute, the bigot, and the batterer are all children of God, whether they know it or not. And I'm supposed to treat them accordingly. And it's hard, and I blow it all the time.
Mongrel class of people.
I'd like everybody to think of a statement by Terence. The statement is, I am a human being. Nothing human can be alien to me. If you can internalize the least portion of that, you will never be able to say of an act, a criminal act, or I couldn't do that. No matter how heinous the crime, if a human being did it, you have to say, I have in me all the components that are in her or in him. I intend to use my energies constructively as opposed to destructively. If you can do that about the negative, just think what you can do about the positive. If a human being dreams a great dream, dares to love somebody, if a human being dares to be Martin King or Mahatma Gandhi or Mother Teresa or Malcolm X, if a human being dares to be bigger than the condition into which she or he was born, it means so can you. And so you can try to stretch yourself. So you can internalize, homo sum, humani nihila me alienum puto. I am a human being. Nothing human can be alien to me.
You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. For more, go to SoMore.org to participate in the discussion.
We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Now, just today, an article in the New York Times Picayune, Bobby Jindal wants out of the Common Core. Yes, that is the guy, Bobby Jindal, wants out of the Common Core. Times Picayune readers were invited to participate in a live chat today to get their question answered about Governor Bobby Jindal's decision to scrap the Common Core academic standards associated testing in Louisiana. State Senator Conrad Appel will be joining to give perspective from the pro-Common Core point of view. Appel was one of the key figures pushing back on bills that will have scrapped the Common Core in Louisiana. Jindal announced plan to get Louisiana out of the Common Core on related testing last week, but it's still up in the air whether the governor will actually be able to accomplish these goals. He has some control over the Common Core testing because its administration ultimately controls the procurement process for the testing company contracts. But Jindal has less ability to do away with the Common Core standards himself. In order to get rid of the standards, he will need the help of either the Louisiana Board of Elementary and Secondary Education or the Louisiana Legislature. Neither the state school board nor the Louisiana Legislature have been particularly interested in scrapping the Common Core. Now it goes on and on, ladies and gentlemen, on and on. all across the nation, people are talking about the Common Core. Just yesterday, speaker at a symposium in Ottawa calls Common Core a failure in education. A symposium was recently held in the newly implemented Common Core state standard, which was adopted by the New Jersey Board of Education for revising English and mathematics academic standard. Dr. Duke Pester, academic director in the Freedom Project Education, presented his view on the standards as having a negative impact on education. Dr. Pester presented his view on the standards as having a negative impact on education. Pester is also a professor of English at the University of Wisconsin and has been a high-profile opponent of Common Core, giving speeches against it nationwide. The event was sponsored by CURE New Jersey, a coalition of educator activists aligned to promote local control of education. It goes on and on. It goes on and on, ladies and gentlemen. On and on and on and on regarding the Common Core. And when are we actually going to understand that this Common Core is not for certain kids in the school system? Now, if you don't know, the Common Core is a set of national standards for English and mathematics with science guidelines forthcoming, and was drafted by two lobbyist groups, the National Governor Association and the Council of Chief State School Officers. They were backed and funded by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, who turned over $1.5 million initially and adopted by 45 states in exchange for Race to the Top funding and waivers from No Child Left Behind. He then explained how Bill Gates, former chief executive and chairman of Microsoft, the world's largest personal computer software company, ultimately spent $2.5 million on Common Core, which was by promoting it, implementing it, bribing people to take it. He went further by questioning Bill Gates and others who drafted the standards regarding their qualification to draft such education policies. And it's the same thing Dr. Gary Thompson was talking about as a psychologist. According to reports stemming back to 2008, Bill and Melinda Gates were asked to back new standards that were in work for education by David Coleman, a former Rhodes Scholar and McKinsey & Company consultant. Coleman became one of the architects of the CCSS and ultimately became president of the college board. Along with Gene Wilhoit, now the former executive director of the CCSSO, the two asked that the Gates Foundation back the standard in order to help fix problems in current education, including the wide variation of academic standards between states, which they attributed to the U.S. falling behind in education in the world. They also argued that a broken education system hindered innovation because textbook publishers and the software developers were not catering to the general consensus as a result of disparity in education standards between states and the inability to focus on development of a breakthrough product. Gates ultimately decided to lend his support and back the new standards. So, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, these standards does not benefit all the kids in the school system. The Common Core is not what we need in our school system today. And when you're going to have a Board of Education election, you have to ask the people who are running to sit on the Board of Education, where do they stand in the Common Core? Those questions must be asked. If we don't ask those questions, then something is definitely wrong with us. Because the Common Core is so important today in the school system. Very important. It's of the utmost importance. Time check. The time is approximately 9 p.m. That time check is brought to you by All Star Motors, providing you with services you can trust. They provide you with ASC certified mechanics, New Jersey State inspection facilities, used car sale, authorized police towing, and emission repair facilities. You can call them at 973-762-8771. That's 973-762-8771. We'll be right back after this short break.
Go ahead and advertise on the South Orange Maplewood online radio experience. You can reach us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to assist you.
Want to learn piano for kids? Then I recommend Wendy Goldstein School of Piano. Wendy Goldstein has been offering piano lessons since 1993 and teaches piano in a very natural way. An alumni of Manhattan School of Music, Wendy creates customized lesson plans for each student and helps bring music alive. Wendy provides you a convenient location, the best value, and the most fun way to learn piano. All ages are welcome and the first lesson is always free. Have questions? Call Wendy at 201-207-5169.
You are listening to In the Village with Anselm on South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626 or log on to showmore.org.
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? Then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8 times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
For community news, sports, and opinions, call us at 973-327-3626 or log on to showmore.org. You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
Get into the discussion at 973-327-3626. This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear your opinion. You can log on to showmore.org or give us a call at 973-327-3626.
Want to take a cruise but don't have a U.S. visa? No problem. Cruise and Rail Traveler, experts at cruises that do not require U.S. visa. Visit www.cruiseandrail.net or call 868-631-8785. Find us on Facebook or drop us a tweet.
Coming soon, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience.
We are back with you. It's In the Village with Anselm and the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Remember, coming up on July 4th is the 7th annual Maplewood 4th of July 5K race run through Maplewood. This race supports Columbia High School cross-country and track team. Registration is at 7 a.m. The race time is at 8 a.m. The race starts at Donald Road and Oakview Avenue in Maplewood. The entry fee is $25 before 6:30 and $30 after June the 30th. The awards are 3 men overall, 3 women overall, and top 3 Maplewood residents. For further questions, you can email Maplewood5k4j at AOL.com. That's Maplewood 5K4J at AOL.com. Again, you can go out and support the 7th annual Maplewood 4th of July 5K race run through Maplewood. You don't actually have to run, ladies and gentlemen. You can walk, you can ride, you can walk backwards, you can do whatever you want. But the whole idea is to support Columbia High School cross country and track team. Now, the Common Core basically is all across the United States of America. Even in Tennessee, there was a student speaking out against the Common Core. Let's listen to what that student had to say.
In a mere 5 minutes, I hope to provide insightful comments about a variety of educational topics. I sincerely hope you disprove the research I've compiled. Here's the history of the Common Core. In 2009, the National Governors Association and the Council of Chief State School Officers partnered with Achieve, Inc., a nonprofit that received millions of funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Thus, the initiative seemed to spring from states when in reality it was contrived by an insular group of educational testing executives with only 2 academic content specialists. Neither specialist approved the final standards, and the English consultant Dr. Sandra Stotsky publicly stated she felt the standards left students with an empty skill set, lacking literary knowledge. While educators and administrators were later included in the validation committee and feedback groups, they did not play a role in the actual drafting of the standards. The product is a, quote, rigorous preparation for career and college, yet many educators agree that rigorous is a buzzword. These standards aren't rigorous, just different, designed for an industrial model of school. Nevertheless, Common Core emerged. Keep in mind the specific standards were never voted upon by Congress, the Department of Education, state or local governments, yet their implementation was approved by 49 states and territories. The president essentially bribed states into implementation via Race to the Top, offering $4.35 billion taxpayer dollars to participating states, $500 million of which went to Tennessee. And much like No Child Left Behind, the program promises national testing and a one-size-fits-all education because, hey, it worked really well the first time. While I do admire some aspects of the core, such as fewer standards and an emphasis on application and writing, it's not going to fix our academic deficit. If nothing else, these standards are a glowing conflict of interest, and they lack the research they allegedly received. And most importantly, the standards illustrate a mistrust of teachers, something I believe this county has already felt for a while. I've been fortunate to have incredible educators that open my eyes to the joy of learning, and I love them like my family. I respect them entirely, which is why it frustrates me to review the team and Apex evaluation systems. These subjective anxiety producers do more to damage a teacher's self-esteem than you realize. Erroneous evaluation coupled with strategic compensation presents a punitive model that, as a student, is like watching your teacher jump through flaming hoops to earn a score. Have you forgot the nature of a classroom? A teacher cannot be evaluated without his students. Excuse me, because as a craft, teaching is an interaction. Thus, how can you expect to gauge a teacher's success with no control for students' participation or interest? I stand before you because I care about education, but also because I want to support my teachers. And just as they fought for my academic achievement, so I want to fight for their ability to teach. This relationship is at the heart of instruction, yet there will never be a system by which it is accurately measured. But I want to take a step back. We can argue the details ad infinitum, yet I observe a much broader issue with education today. Standards-based education is ruining the way we teach and learn. Yes, I've already been told by legislators and administrators, Ethan, that's just the way things work. But why? I'm going to answer that question. It's bureaucratic convenience. It works with nuclear reactors. It works with business models. Why can't it work with students? I mean, how convenient calculating exactly who knows what and who needs what. I mean, why don't we just manufacture robots instead of students? They last longer and they always do what they're told. But education is unlike every other bureaucratic institute in our government. The task of teaching is never quantifiable. If everything I learn in high school is a measurable objective, I haven't learned anything. I'd like to repeat that. If everything I learn in high school is a measurable objective, I have not learned anything. Creativity, appreciation, inquisitiveness, these are impossible to scale, but they're the purpose of education. Why our teachers teach, why I choose to learn. And today we find ourselves in a nation that produces workers. Everything is career and college preparation. Somewhere our founding fathers are turning in their graves, pleading, screaming, and trying to say to us that we teach to free minds. We teach to inspire. We teach to equip. The careers will come naturally. I know we're just one city in a huge system that excitedly embraces numbers. But ask any of these teachers, ask any of my peers, and ask yourselves, haven't we gone too far with data? I attended tonight's meetings to share my critiques, but as Benjamin Franklin quipped, any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do. The problems I cite are very real, and I ask only that you hear them out, investigate them, and do not dismiss them as another fool's criticisms. I'll close with a quote of Jane L. Stanford that Dr. McIntyre shared in a recent speech. You have my entire confidence in your ability to do conscientious work to the very best advantage to the students, that they be considered paramount to all and everything else. We're capable of fixing education, and I commit myself to that task. But you cannot ignore me, my teachers, or the truth. We need change, but not Common Core, high-stakes evaluations, or more robots. Thank you.
We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Coming up next, will the Common Core standards benefit students of color?
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? Then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8 times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
Want to take a cruise but don't have a U.S. visa? No problem. Cruise and Rail Traveler, experts at cruises that do not require a U.S. visa. Visit www.cruiseandrail.net or call 868-631-8785. Find us on Facebook or drop us a tweet.
Want to learn piano for kids? Then I recommend Wendy Goldstein School of Piano. Wendy Goldstein has been offering piano lessons since 1993 and teaches piano in a very natural way. An alumni of Manhattan School of Music, Wendy creates customized lesson plans for each student and helps bring music alive. Wendy provides you a convenient location, the best value, and the most fun way to learn piano. All ages are welcome, and the first lesson is always free. Have questions? Call Wendy at 201-207-5169.
Go ahead and advertise on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. You can reach us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to assist you. Coming soon, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience.
We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. 26. Time check. The time is approximately 9:15 p.m. That time check is brought to you by Nokia Home Improvements. For all your general constructions and remodeling job, Nokia Home Improvements. No job is too small. You can call them at 973-592-8493. That's 973-592-8493. Again, Nokia Home Improvements. No job is too small. And of course, we always give you the SOMO quotes of the day. You send your quotes to somo.org@gmail.com, and we read the best quote right here in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. You will never become who you want to be if you keep blaming everyone else for who you are now. You will never become who you want to be if you keep blaming everyone else for who you are now. That is the SOMO quote of the day. Now, according to an article published in the Latino Rebels, yes, Latino Rebels, will the Common Core standards benefit students of color? There have been much heated debate over the past year as some states have begun to implement curricula aligned with the Common Core, with some already even assessing students on their proficiency to these new standards. Most notably this past year, New York assessed its students' population and found that a dismal 2/3 of its students did not meet proficiency. Significantly, students of color, especially English language learners, fared even worse than the general trend of students. While overall 31% of students exceeded the proficiency standards in either English language arts or math, only 17% of Latino students and 3.2% of English language learners did so. As a result, New York State teachers have issued a vote of no confidence when it comes to the Common Core. Should I say any more, ladies and gentlemen? Should I say any more? And these are the type of things that we have to talk about. Now, when we go to a place like Maplewood Online, and I'm bringing this up for a specific reason, and many people may say, Maplewood Online is what you call a lot of the people on Maplewood Online may what some people call rabble-rousers, so to speak. It's more the negative aspects of our community. People going on there so they can hide behind these names and make all different type of comments. I cannot remember when there was any discussion on Maplewood Online regarding the Common Core. Now, listen to what I'm saying carefully now. I'm saying I cannot remember seeing, let me clarify that, seeing any discussion about the Common Core on Maplewood Online in the education section. And to me, I think the Common Core is very significant. It's very, very significant. Because are we trying to truly close the achievement gap in our communities of South Orange and Maplewood? It is my understanding we are trying to close the achievement gap across the whole country. Yet we can decide to implement something called the Common Core, where it has an effect, a drastic effect on those kids that need the most help. I mean, look at the statistics in New York. They didn't make those statistics up. Those are the results. I mean, I'm looking at the education section in Maplewood Online right now. There's about 20 discussions. TC reading assessment is there key. Tuscan kindergarten registration closed. Tuscan school supplies kit added weighted. Looking for Suzuki teacher from the school district program contact info. Can anyone here recommend a good middle school close to South Orange Maplewood? IEP and special ed in Columbia High School, great or terrible, or somewhere in between. Archive Power School pages now while it's still up. CHS remaining 3 half days. And it goes on and on. There's nothing about the Common Core. As a matter of fact, it appears that when you want to talk about leveling in the South Orange Maplewood communities, many people seem to not want to touch that. You know, MC Hammer had a rap song, you know, Can't Touch This. Is that what it was? Yeah, I think Can't Touch This. I think sometimes that's what's going on in the communities of South Orange and Maplewood. Can't touch that. You know, I should look for that MC Hammer song. Can't touch that. You know, while we are talking to you, I can't help but laugh, ladies and gentlemen. I remember MC Hammer's song, Can't Touch That. Let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, the MC Hammer song, you know, Can't Touch That. It seemed that in our communities of South Orange and Maplewood, we can't touch that. It seemed that if we are afraid to talk about the Common Core in these communities, why are we afraid? You know, because sometimes you wonder if you talk about certain things, somehow people are going to not envy you, or they're going to vilify you. Let me see if I can play this. I'm just going to try this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see this. I'm just trying something new here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a local radio station. Don't worry about it. We are going to be fine. Okay. Oh, that don't sound too good. Yeah. We don't want to try that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that didn't work. But it just seemed that certain things in our community seem to be, you know, somehow put under the covers, so to speak. And if I had to have one criticism, just one of the few criticism of the Community Coalition on Race is the Education Committee. Because I feel that when it comes to education, they may be worried about if they take a stand that somehow people in the community are going to come out against all the other good things that they're doing. So many of our students suffer. I mean, look at, just don't take my word for it. Look at the New Jersey Department of Education report on our elementary school system, our middle school system, and our high school system. And look at the rankings in the different proficiency levels, the 3 different proficiency levels. And see who is always at the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. Just look at that and see. Are we truly doing all we can in these communities of South Orange and Maplewood? Are we really? So, we have our assembly person, Myla JC, who is decided that, you know what? There is something wrong with the Common Core. And she has put a bill in Trenton against the Common Core. She proposed the bill A3081 as a way to slow down the implementation of Common Core standards rather than rush into implementing these new standards. The study of both Common Core and PARCC will allow legislatures, school board, and public to get a better understanding of these standards and how the implementation will affect students. And that is the significant part that I want to drive home. How does this affect students? That is the important part, ladies and gentlemen. That's of utmost importance. How does the Common Core affect our students? It does have an effect. It has a drastic effect on our students. Look, in New York, students of color, especially English language learners, fared even worse than the general trend of students. 31% of students exceeded proficiency standards in either English language or math. Only 17% of Latino students and 3.2% of English language learners did so. So what do the New York State teachers do? They voted no confidence when it comes to the Common Core. And in South Orange and Maplewood, with the upcoming election, the Board of Education election, we have to be honest and say to the people, if you for the core, you out the door. If you for the core, you out the door. Because the Common Core does not benefit those who need the most help. And I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over. Because, you know, I have to tell you, some months ago, I also did a program on the Common Core. And one of the many listeners that we have was listening. And he said to me, he said, Anselm, I don't know what the Common Core is, but I heard you talking about it over and over and over and over. So I went and I did some research on the Common Core. Now I know exactly what the Common Core is. And I can say to you, I might have the longest running survey ever in the history of South Orange and Maplewood on our website talking about the poll on the Common Core. And I left it up there for a reason. Because as we continue, it's going to become even more and more to the forefront of state and school system rejecting the Common Core. If we truly, truly, truly want to close the achievement gap, and sometimes I just think when we all talk about closing this achievement gap, sometimes I just think is lip service. Lip service. We want to close the achievement gap, but lest we hoist in the Common Core in all these states. What there's a saying, what you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't try to close the achievement gap and giving us the Common Core where the individuals that's part of the achievement gap is going to be affected more than any other group. How are you going to close the achievement gap? How are you going to do that? How are we going to do that? So we have all this grandiose scheme and grandiose plans to do things. But I am so happy to see our state assemblywoman, Myla J.C., deciding that she's going to stand up and be counted and tell them, put some brakes. Put on your brakes, ladies and gentlemen, on the Common Core. And I want to give Mrs. Myla J.C. a round of applause, of course. For many of us who don't want to take a stand, here we have a bill in Trenton that's going to make a difference. Should the bill pass, make a difference in the lives for our kids, to make it better for our kids. So now you have some homework. Just go and research the proposed bill 3081. Just research it so you can see what Assemblywoman Myla J.C. is trying to do, just to slow down the implementation of these Common Core standards, because it does not benefit all of our kids. Time check. Time is approximately 9:30 p.m. We're going to go for a short break, and we'll be right back to wrap up.
This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear from you at 973-327-3626 or log on to showmore.org to let us know your opinion.
Want to learn piano for kids? Then I recommend Wendy Goldstein School of Piano. Wendy Goldstein has been offering piano lessons since 1993 and teaches piano in a very natural way. An alumni of Manhattan School of Music, Wendy creates customized lesson plans for each student and helps bring music alive. Wendy provides you a convenient location, the best value, and the most fun way to learn piano. All ages are welcome and the first lesson is always free. Have questions? Call Wendy at 201-207-5169.
Want to take a cruise but don't have a U.S. visa? No problem. Cruise and Rail Travel are experts at cruises that do not require a U.S. visa. Visit www.cruiseandrail.net or call 868-631-8785. Find us on Facebook or drop us a tweet.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? Then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8 times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
Coming soon, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience.
Someone once asked me if I pray because it makes sense, and I said, no, I don't pray because it makes sense. I pray because my life doesn't make sense without prayer. I pray to raise myself up and to keep going when I can't even seem to get going. In the middle of life's struggles, there inevitably comes a time in each of our lives when we collapse on the trail or in an office or even stuck in traffic. And prayer, I have found, is a path where there is none. Tears falling long enough can scar rocks, but tears falling on our cheeks can also cause us to bloom. And the wind in your face just might be God blowing you kisses. Your life is a gift. Prayer is a thank you note. So put your faith and not your fears in charge, and may you never forget that God is never so with you as when you feel alone. Peace and blessings, Noah.
You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. For more, go to showmore.org to participate in the discussion.
We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Remember, coming up on July 4th, is the 7th annual Maplewood 4th of July 5K race run through Maplewood. The funds from this race supports Columbia High School cross country and track team. Registration is at 7 a.m. The race time is at 8 a.m. It starts at Donald Road and Oakview Avenue in Maplewood. The entry fee is $25 before June the 30th and $30 after June the 30th. There are awards for 3 top men and 3 top women, as well as the top 3 Maplewood residents. For further questions, you can email maplewood5k4j at aol.com. That's maplewood5k4j at aol.com. And tonight, we talked a little bit about the Common Core. And it's a discussion that we're going to continue having here in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Because I think more people have to get to know, familiarize themselves with the Common Core and say, simply, if you for the core, you out the door. Time check. The time is approximately 9:36 p.m. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall say that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. And I always give you this song before I go. See you. Same so more time, same so more channel. Later.
So we're giving thanks to the Most High for all of His blessings, His guidance. Oh Lord, how great Thou art Thee. Thank You for blessing me. Transpose all my energy, yeah, and molded talents in me. Now those on my head, I appreciate your with endurance and faith. They standing in line, want to intertwine, devour my body, soul and mind. But my will is strong, they can't throw me down. With Your guidance I will carry on. Oh Lord, every day I'm going to sing this song. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thank You, Lord, for what You've done for me. Yeah. Thank You, Lord, for every little thing. Yeah. Thank You, Lord, for what You've done for me. And I thank You for blessing me every day. And through the river walls, I will walk with You beside me, be unharmed cause You can find me, yeah. And when the kingdom falls, You'll console me from my distress. In Your warmth of grace I will rest, yeah. No authority can remove me from Your bubble. They will perish in their rubble, yeah. And if that false fear falls, oh Lord, I will be lifted up in You, the Lord, and singing. Thank You, Lord, for what You've done for me. Thank You, Lord, for every little thing. Hey. Thank You, Lord, for what You've done for me. And I thank You for blessing me every day. And so I sing again. Thank You, Lord, for what You've done for me. Thank You, Lord, for every little thing. Hey. Thank You, Lord, for what You've done for me. And I thank You for blessing me every day. Thank You for giving them love. Thank You for giving me all. Thank You for keeping my faith. Thank You for never saying. Thank You. Thank You. Oh yeah. Thank You. Oh Lord. Thank You. Thank You.